Yo, what's good, rookies? Welcome back to the Rookie Mycologist. In today's video, I'm going to be doing a Spore to Flush video for you guys for the Uncle Ben's Tech. So with all that being said, let's go ahead and get into today's video. Here we go. All right, guys, so the final thing that I need to do is I need to inoculate this whole grain brown rice. If you want to use the Uncle Ben's Tech, it doesn't have to be Uncle Ben's rice. It just needs to be whole grain brown rice in the microwavable pouch. I want to shout out 90 Second Mycology. Shout out, homie. I told him whenever I had less than 500 subscribers that as long as this channel's going, as long as I'm growing, I would always use the Uncle Ben's Tech and show him his respect, because he was the first big YouTuber that showed me love whenever I started this channel. So 90 Second, shout out to you, homie. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and inoculate this brown rice. What you're gonna need is obviously the rice. You're gonna need some micropore tape. Of course, you're gonna need the syringe, whatever you're inoculating with. Once again, we're using liquid culture, and let me show you how to do it. All right, so the first thing that you're gonna need is an additional needle. What we're gonna do is we're gonna take this needle, we're gonna torch it up, and we're gonna use it to make some holes right here that we're gonna cover up with the micropore tape. Whenever this is colonizing, there's going to be an exchange of CO2. So we need basically a filter. You see the filter patches on those other bags? We need to create a filter patch for this bag. So I'm going to torch it up. Here we go. Got my torch. Brand new needle. Torch it up. There we go. You want to make sure that those holes. Oh, there we go. There we go. I just put a big hole in the front of it. Let me show it. So you can see there's a big hole right there in the front of it, just like that. And I was supposed to already have this micropore tape already peeled and ready to go. Take a piece of micropore tape and cover it. And there we go. So I got one big hole right there with the micropore tape in front of it. You can actually cut it on the side right here and cover the corner if you want to. I've seen people use hole punches where they put maybe 2 hole punch holes right there and cover it up with the micropore tape. We're creating a filter. So I just use a needle, put a hole in the front of it or 2 holes, cover with the micropore tape, and you're good to go. Now, the next thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and get another piece of tape ready, because we're going to inoculate it and then we're going to cover the inoculation site with this tape. All right, so I'm going to put about 1 cc into each of these rice packs. 1 cc. Don't forget, after I do that, I'm going to cover it with the micropore tape. Then on the back of it right here, I'm going to put the strain, the date, and label it. So give me 1 second, let me get this done. I'm getting rich on these shrooms and reef. I'm getting rich on these shrooms and reef. I'm getting rich on these shrooms and reef. My daughter don't like me, I don't like her either, but I'm getting rich on these shrooms and reef. Your boyfriend a bitch and he broken and lazy. Hating on me, it's so pointless I made it. My daughter don't like me, I don't like her either, but I'm getting rich off this shrooms and reef. I grew up with nothing, I'm getting these racks. These people respect me, I'm telling them facts. I'm selling them packs and I'm dabbing on wax. She sucking me nightly, I blow out her back. I do not trust them, these niggas not loyal. Germinate season and plant them in soil. Fuck with a boss and I bet you get spoiled. You wanted a king, better act like you raw. Your boyfriend a bitch and he broken and lazy. Hating on me, it's so pointless I made it. My daughter don't like me, I don't like her either, but I'm getting rich on these shrooms and this reef. I'm growing these shrooms and I'm growing this reefer. Mix it with orange, you sell by the liter. Know that she want me, I read her like meters. I'm taking her shopping and then I might eat her. Fucking her harder, she shit like a Caesar. If you not fucking, I don't wanna meet you. You're down on your knees that I get in between you. Dicking her down till she wanting to breathe. Play with my money, bitch, Trump is a reaper. Get money for business, get money for leisure. Washing this flour, we stored in the freezer. Give me 500, you wanting a feature. I know why you hating, your lifestyle is bigger. You broke than the bitch and your bitch you can keep. She down on her knees and I get in between her. I'm dicking her down till she wanting to breathe. Your boyfriend a bitch and he broken and lazy. Hating on me, it's so pointless I made it. My daughter don't like me, I don't like her either, but I'm getting rich off this room, this reef. I grew up with nothing, I'm getting these racks. These people respect me, I'm telling them facts. I'm selling them packs and I'm dabbing on wax. She sucking me nightly, I blow out her back. I do not trust in me niggas, not Lord. Germinate season and plant them in soil. Fuck with a boss and I bet you get spoiled. You want her the king, better act like you roll. Your boyfriend a bitch and he broke and he lazy. Hating on me is so pointless, I made it. My daughter don't like me, I don't like her either. But I'm getting rich off these shrooms and this reef. I'm growing these shrooms and I'm growing this reef. If you're willing to learn, then I'm willing to teach you. I take care of my people, base drop as a leader. I'm telling the truth, I don't lie like a preacher. I'm blowing up faster, I'm hot like a fever. I'm passing these pounds off, I need to receive. I'm passing these shrooms that I feel like a healer. Base drop a shaman, I am not a dealer. Ain't no me, boy, you should be embarrassed. I grow anywhere, I got cubes on the terrace. I'm getting this green, I ain't talking about lettuce. You smile on my face, but I know that you're jealous. We come from the darkness, you really can't scare us. I lollipop plants and I put up my trailers. I used to sell pounds in the base and the barracks. I'm stuffing a cone with this OG from Paris. Your boyfriend a bitch and he broken and lazy. Hating on me, it's so pointless, I made it. My daughter don't like me, I don't like her either. But I'm getting rich off this stream, this reef. I grew up with nothing, I'm getting these racks. These people respect me, I'm telling them facts. I'm selling them packs and I'm dabbing on wax. She sucking me nightly, I blow. So now we have the rice. If you look right here, you can see that it looks like it's fully colonized. But up here, if you squish it, you can feel that there's rice in here that's not colonized. It's colonized all the way back up to here. So now what we're gonna do is just break this up. Once again, we're breaking up the mycelium and mixing it with the rice that's not colonized all the way, which is gonna make it colonize faster, create more inoculation points. Easy peasy. All right, so now this is how this looks. Everything's mixed up. I'm gonna do this to the rest of these in there, but you don't need to watch me do that. All I need to do is just demonstrate one for you. That's how you do the break and shake and squish and mix whenever it's 20 to 30% colonized with your grain and rice. You see I got the 2 shoe boxes right here. I think these are 6-quart shoe boxes, if I'm not mistaken. And guys, I accidentally forgot to film myself spawning to bulk the rice, but I did record me doing this grain bag. It's the same process, so I'm gonna show you right here. So I'm just cleaning these out with the 70% ISO. And I'm going to, I have the Spore substrate. Once again, if you want to use any, if you want to get any of the Spore products, use the code base drop keys. That'll get you 10% off at northspore.com. But I'm gonna cut open the substrate, pour some in both of them, take some of the grain, pour it in both of them, mix it up, and then with the remaining substrate that I'm gonna leave in this bag, I'm gonna pour some on the top and basically just make it even. Cool. Take some substrate, put it in here, pour some in here. Okay, pour some in here. Now I'm gonna pour some more substrate in here and mix it together. Okay. Making sure to keep a little bit. So I kept some, so that way I can still finish this off the top. So we're just gonna mix this together. Okay, so there we go. So now, all I'm doing is making this kind of flat. Easy peasy. Take the rest of this, put it on the top. Now, that substrate that we just put in here, we're just gonna put it on the top and cover it, making sure it's kind of flat. And what I do is, all around the outside of it, you just want to tuck the outside of that in. I found that really helps. So around the edge, just go around the edge and kind of tuck the edge in. Make sure the rest of this is just kind of flat. That's cool. Easy peasy. Now, we're gonna put the lid back on them. Don't forget to label this with the strain, with the date, and put it back in the tent. Next is the fruiting conditions. All you need to do is take off the lid off the shoe boxes and put it inside of your fruiting tent. I'm using the Boom Room 2 from Spore. Use the code BaseDropKeys to save 10% off any order at northspore.com. All right, guys, so it's been 13 days since I put these 2 bins in fruiting conditions. And you can see that we're getting more coverage for these mushrooms. The only things that I did differently is I turned up the humidity. I had it in between 75 and 85, and I moved it up. So now it's in between 82 and 92. So you guys know mushrooms love higher humidity. So I moved it up, and that's the only thing that I've done differently, but you can see that we're getting a better spread on top of this cake. Not bad, huh? Hopefully in the next couple of days here, we should have some great mushrooms. All right, guys, so we're giving you an update. Look at this blue spot over here. Is that the big C? I don't know. But the mushrooms only got a small amount of time before they're done, so they'll be finished before that spreads. If it's the big C, I don't know if it is. It's blue. I can't see that I've ever seen that. And then over here, that's starting to look a little bluish as well. So I'm not exactly sure what's cracking. But you can see that they're definitely growing, the mushrooms are. But look, that's obviously, is it blue or is it me? I think it's blue. But I'm not sure what it is. It's not spreading or anything right now, so we'll have to see. I'll keep an eye on it. And over here, still going. All right, guys, so it's a day later. And if you look inside of the boom room 2, you'll see that the shoebox on the left-hand side is ready to harvest. Actually, it was ready about 5 hours ago, but I gave it some more time to let the smaller ones go ahead and mature a little bit more. And the shoebox on the right-hand side is not ready yet. It needs about one more day. So what I'm gonna do is today we're gonna harvest the one on the left, go ahead and get it started drying. It takes 20 hours for them to dry. So whenever these are finished drying, that's when I'll harvest the shoebox on the right-hand side and do the process all over again. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this shoebox out of the boom room 2. Let's take a look at it. Let's take a look at these beautiful mushrooms. Well, look at this. Ain't this a pretty picture? These mushrooms are technically past the point when you want to harvest them. You're really supposed to harvest them right before the veil breaks underneath. But like I said previously, I was waiting for the smaller ones to mature more because I'm not going to be doing this in sections. Sometimes you can go ahead and harvest the mushrooms that are ready and then let the other ones keep going and then come back and just harvest them in waves. I wasn't doing that. I'm going to harvest all of these at one time. So that's why I gave it a little bit more time. But now that you guys have seen how beautiful they are, let's go ahead and start the harvest. To harvest mushrooms, all you got to do is just pull them by the base right off the substrate. If you have big bundles of them, you can go ahead and just take a knife and cut it at the base. I did some of these with my hand, just, picking them from the base, where you just take it and rip it off gently or twist it a little bit. And then I took the knife and started harvesting most of them. It's super easy to do, straightforward, self-explanatory, no problem. But all right, guys, now that we got that done, let's take a look at these mushrooms and see what we got here. Well, look at this. Pretty, pretty, pretty. Keezy McCanna, Keezy McCanna, Keezy McCanna, Keezy McCanna. Drop off them packs and I'm feeling like Santa. Growing these mushrooms, I'm Keezy McCanna. Growing exotics, they smell like bananas. I just got these poison, they came from Havana. 4 or 5. But all right, guys, it's time for us to actually dry out these mushrooms. So I'm going to be using my Presto dehydrator. As you guys already know, we talked about this. I used to do this at a higher temperature for a shorter amount of time. I found that they'll keep their body a little bit more if you do it at a reduced temperature. So I'm going to do it at 120 degrees Fahrenheit for a longer time, 20 hours. And by doing it this way, these smaller ones probably still will shrivel up. But for the most part, doing it this way helps the bag appeal so they don't shrivel up so much. And so once I have the mushrooms in my dehydrator and have it turned on, the next thing that I need to do is I need to rehydrate the cake. If the cake has dried out after you do the first flush, you need to rehydrate it. And how I do that is just by putting it in the sink. I'm going to fill it up with water, put another container on top of it as a weight, put water on that, and it's going to soak here for 24 hours. So let me go ahead and let them start soaking, and we'll come back once they're done. All right, guys, so now it's a day later. The mushrooms are dry, so let's weigh them up and see what exactly is the dry weight for the first shoebox. So you can see I have my scale here that you guys always see, and I have 2 jars right here that we're going to put them in. I did put a dry pack inside of there, but you don't have to. And I'm just going to take the mushrooms out of the Presto dehydrator right into the jar so we can weigh them. So with this first jar, there's actually 30 grams inside of there. And with the second jar, it's 9 grams inside of there. So the first shoebox produced us 39 grams of dried mushrooms. Isn't that great? From this little shoebox, that's fantastic. Look how beautiful they are. Ready to be eaten. Remember, keep them in a jar or a bowl, an airtight container. They'll be good for years. As long as you dry them out properly and there's no moisture inside of the mushrooms at all, they will keep for years. But now what I need to do is I need to harvest the second shoebox. You can see we're looking at it right here, and more of the mushrooms have matured and ready to go. Some of them have already sporulated, as you can see there, but we're gonna go ahead and do this harvest. So I'm gonna do the same exact thing that I did the first time around. There's no need to go in depth about it. It's the same exact process. I harvest them the same way. Once I got them harvested, I put them back in the dehydrator. The same amount of time, same temperature, 120 degrees Fahrenheit for 20 hours is what I do every time now. Now that the mushrooms are inside the dehydrator, I'm going to rehydrate the cake. You can see the first one here on the left, the second one right here on the right. Everything is the same. So we're going to go ahead and fast forward 20 hours now. The second shoebox is dry. Let's go ahead and weigh these mushrooms up. So you can see here, I did order some jars from Walmart. So I got some nice little mason jars right here. And so when I add up the mushrooms for the second shoebox, it comes out to 14 grams in the first jar, 15 grams in the second jar. So that's a total of 29 grams for the second shoebox. So we got 39 grams for the first shoebox, 29 grams for the second shoebox. That is a total of 68 grams, which is almost 2.5 ounces, 2.43 ounces to be exact. Basically, I'm just going to call it 2.5 ounces that we got from this first flush from the Uncle Ben's tech. Isn't that great? I'm loving it. This is 68 grams that I didn't have before. And for somebody like me who does microdosing, this is going to last me quite a while. I'm super happy about it. But all right, now that the mushrooms are dried and put in the jars, all I got to do now is just pour out the water from the cakes, put them back in the fruiting tent, and now I'm just going to wait to see if we can get flush 2. If you guys are interested in flush number 2 and everything that I'm doing here on the channel, make sure that you guys have subscribed to the channel, and if you don't mind, share this video with a friend. And with all that being said, that's going to do it for this video. In this video, I did the Spore to Flush for the Uncle Ben's tech. Also, before I get up out of here, obviously you guys know that my channel was deleted and that sucks. But I do want to let you guys know that the second through the 5th flush has already happened for this particular grow. As a matter of fact, just today, I posted the 3rd through the 5th flush on my website, bassdropkeys.tv. So unfortunately, I can't post everything on YouTube like I was doing before my channel got deleted. But for anybody that's interested, you can see the 2nd through the 5th flush on my website, bassdropkeys.tv. And on my website, all the questions that you have in your head right now, I know exactly what you're thinking, and I answer everything on bassdropkeys.tv. If you're interested in seeing all of my past mycology videos and all of my future mycology videos, I'm still making videos. Come over to my website. If you're one of the thousands of people who said that they started growing because of me, or I helped you out in some way as far as mycology, come over to my website, bassdropkeys.tv. Support your boy. I still am making mycology videos, so come over and check it out, bassdropkeys.tv. If you want to support me and the channel, come over to therookiemycologist.com. I have great hoodies, shirts, shorts, slides, mugs, and a bunch of other great merch. Come over and get some at therookiemycologist.com. I really appreciate all of you. And until I see you guys the next time, I'm out, guys. Much love.